Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. It was almost a year ago that 31-year-old Dontre Hamilton was shot and killed by former Milwaukee police officer Christopher Manning. He was shot 14 times in Red Arrow Parks in downtown Milwaukee. My first guest has been here over the course of the last year to keep viewers up to date with their fight for justice. It's my pleasure to welcome back to the show Miss Maria Hamilton, who is the mother of Dontre Hamilton. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to have you here, and a lot has happened since you were last here, Maria. Members of the Fire and Police Commission, they made a decision not to give Christopher Manning his job back as a Milwaukee police officer, and I know that you and your family were there for every single day of those hearings. Give us your thoughts on that particular decision and moving forward.
That experience was really, really hard to actually be in the room with the man that had murdered Dontre. But with us being spiritual, we got prayed up and we remained humble. A lot of our supporters was there to actually show support, bring food, and comfort us. And I want to thank the community of Milwaukee for their ongoing support.
Yeah, and Manning actually plans to appeal that decision that was made by the commission. What are your thoughts on that?
I still believe he should be locked up in jail. He shouldn't be able to collect money for a pension after he murdered a man in cold blood and took his life.
Yeah.
So we will be there to fight that appeal as well.
Yeah. So many find it hard to understand how the Milwaukee County District Attorney ruled the shooting as justified, but the Fire and Police Commission upheld the decision that he did not follow Milwaukee Police Department procedures. So has that been mind-boggling for you as well?
Yeah, it has. And we received a lot of information by going to this appeal hearing that we didn't actually know. It was information that the police and the DA's office had kept from us about the interviews and the ongoing interviews about Christopher Manning lying, and them still giving him an opportunity to come back to just say the right words to change how they would have actually classified him breaking the policy.
So when you left there, you did feel some sort of vindication?
Yes, we did.
Yes. There seems to be this continuous headline of unarmed black men being killed by law enforcement, and in early March, 19-year-old Tony Robinson Jr. was shot 5 times by Madison police officer Matt Kinney. That scenario sparked more protests, and the organization Coalition for Justice, which your son Nate and Curtis Sales, they co-founded, you guys all headed west and went to Madison to support this family and also protest what happened there in Madison. Talk about that.
Well, we've been in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and the Young, Gifted, and Black since we started protesting and rallying. They come and support us, and we support them when we can. When Tony was murdered, we got the call that Tony had been killed from, I think it was Young, Gifted, and Black, and they asked us to go. At that time, another organization here in Milwaukee decided that they were going to bus community people that wanted to go down there to the rally. So at that time, we joined forces with Micah and Milwaukee Jobs Now. We had supporters to catch the bus. Some of us drove in our cars, but we went down there to support the Robinson family.
Yeah, and why was that so important for you to actually be there in their presence?
I have been saying for months that we haven't had a black kid or man killed by the police officer. For months I have been saying it, and I was believing that was because of the efforts of us being in the public eye, showing up when police were involved in shootings to see what the issues were, if the DOJ was going to be there. And when this particular shooting happened, it was like Dontre being murdered all over again for me.
All over again. Yeah.
So the whole point of Mothers for Justice is to support the mothers that have to suffer the same pain that I'm going through.
Yeah.
It's not just for me that it's coming up a year that my pain is gone, because I live with it. I live with it every day.
Yeah, and I can hear it in your voice.
Yes.
And I always say to you that no one can imagine what you're feeling or what it's like to lose a child in that manner, but the strength that you and your family have displayed, so many people look up to you for that, if nothing else. So you just keep fighting the good fight.
Oh, yeah.
You just mentioned your organization, Mothers for Justice United.
Yes.
And you created that shortly after you lost your son, Dontre, to be there for other mothers who do know what that pain is like. So you made contact with Andrea Williams, who is the mother of Tony Robinson Jr. Now you both share something in common that nobody ever wants to know how that feels.
Right.
But how did you help her through that initial pain?
I talk with her. I tell her that there's going to be a lot of negative that you're going to have to deal with. We reach out and we talk about building strength in her relationship with her remaining kids. We talk about solutions for just coping mechanisms. She's been hit with so much negative media and reports from the police since Tony had passed. I call her and encourage her. I asked her if anybody in her family needs anything, don't hesitate to call, because we can talk about it.
Yeah, and that's what all of the mothers who are part of your coalition, this particular organization, you are there for each other.
Yes.
You are leaning on each other. You're there when somebody needs to talk. You understand what it is they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know each other's boundaries. We know how far to go in our conversations and comforting. We all have boundaries that we set with each particular sister, because some are ready to talk about something, some of the moms don't want to talk about it. So we have to give them their space and those boundaries and just help them where they need to be helped.
Yes, and I'm noticing the t-shirt you're wearing, Justice for
yeah.
Tony Robinson. And so you really are there to support everyone who's gone through this same scenario. With that said, you've announced that you and your organization, Mothers for Justice United, have planned a Million Moms March in Washington, D.C. on Mother's Day weekend. And I think this is wonderful what you've been able to do. Tell us more about it.
Oh, it's an amazing journey. I've had the country to reach out to me and the moms, and it's needed. They've been suffering so long with not being able to be heard, and this platform is for their voice. This platform is for their children's voices. I've heard over 400 to 500 different stories about Black lives taken over the course of a century. And these women have gained the strength and the courage now to fight back, to get some kind of grasp on their child's life matters. It still matters, even though it's gone. And we have to make the leaders know that we're not just going to continue to keep sitting back and let you all just sweep it up under the carpet.
Wow. This particular walk is on May 9th.
Yes.
And a lot of people may not know that is the day you buried Dontre
Yes.
is also your birthday.
Yes.
So how ironic that all these things fall into order.
It's an epic celebration from God. I didn't want to be depressed leading up to my birthday after the anniversary on April 30th. So I decided to just make it a celebration for the whole 9 days. And just so happened Mother's Day falls behind it. So the Million Moms March is significant to me because I'm giving my moms a gift. And that's to have their cases reopened by the Federal Justice Department. And I felt like it would be the best gift that anybody that loved the mom could actually give them.
Yeah, and you were just thinking way outside of the boundaries of Milwaukee.
Right.
You want to go to the nation's capital. How are you able to garner and gather all these people together in order to meet on that day and make a statement?
Hey, strong Black women.
Okay.
They have just embraced me. They've embraced my vision and turned it into a reality. I'm working with a couple of leaders in Washington, D.C. that have stepped up to make sure that we get in the White House, that we get in to see the people at the DOJ that we need to see. Give us some room. Respect us while we're in Washington, and let us tell you what we need. Because that's what's important right now with fixing these communities and Black on Black crimes. If the families are broken, the mother is hurting, the child is lost. And they look for other mechanisms to actually get through their struggle.
Very interesting. How, in fact, will someone who's interested in being a part of the Million Moms March or getting there or donating to the cause, how would they go about doing that?
Okay, I do have a website. It's mothersforjusticeunited.org. They can go there. We have tabs that they can actually click on the march and get signed up for registration. We have an Eventbrite that they can actually go to, www.mfju@eventbrite.com and register. They also can register and purchase a t-shirt. Registration is free. The cost of the t-shirt for the march is $15. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have a Twitter account. The Twitter account is Mamas for the number Justice at Twitter.com.
Okay.
We have a telephone number that they can also call, which is hooked up to the website, Mothers for Justice United. We have people working around the clock, answering our Google messages, getting back to people that want to go to the march.
Okay.
And they can also go to Mothers for Justice United Facebook page, and they can sign up. There's travel and hotel accommodation links on all of our pages.
Okay, so you've covered all the bases, so if
Yes,
someone's
ma'am.
interested, they certainly can get the details that they need. Before we run out of time, you recently met with the CEO of Starbucks, and it was a Starbucks worker at Red Arrow Park that called police about Dontre sleeping in the park. So your family has made it clear that you'd like to keep the details of that meeting private, but for those at home and for myself, we're just wondering, did this meeting help your family and you be able to move forward in a positive way?
Well, we're going to move forward regardless. But to me, it was an interesting meeting for the CEO of Starbucks to actually reach out to the family, and I applaud him for his efforts. Right now, it's ongoing, so I really can't go into detail as to what extent, but I really appreciate the fact that he did come and speak with me and my family.
Yes, and needless to say, your family has worked nonstop since losing Dontre. April 30th, as you mentioned, will mark the 1-year anniversary of his passing. I want to know, have you been in contact with other mothers whose sons have made national headlines, such as Michael Brown from Ferguson and Eric Garner from New York, to be a part of the Million Mom March?
Yes, I am in touch with Eric Gardner's mother. I'm working with the organization that's ran by Juanita Young in New York, and they all will be at the Million Moms March. I'll be flying out Sunday to go to St. Louis. We've been doing commercials called Mother's Voices, and the moms in St. Louis and also in Kentucky have decided to do the Mother's Voices. So I have a young lady going out to do those interviews in Kentucky, and then her and those moms are going to meet us in St. Louis Sunday, and we're going to do a press conference. And Michael Brown's mom is coming to the march, and she will be a part of the press conference Monday.
Yes, well, I am so proud of you, because where you could easily just kind of go in your own private space and deal with this, you have opened up your heart, and not only are you really spreading the message that you're not going to let your son's death be in vain, you're helping other people along the way, and voices are now being heard. So just keep on keeping on. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me once again.
Absolutely, and best of luck with the Mom March.
Oh
Million Mom
yeah,
March.
it's going to be epic.
Yes, Maria Hamilton is the mother of Dontre Hamilton. The Million Moms March, again, is set for Saturday, May 9th in Washington, D.C. For more information, you can log on to mothersforjusticeunited.org or call 414-939-5599. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll talk to a young man who took steps to declare May as Violence Prevention Month in Milwaukee, and he'll tell us about the International Stop the Violence Prayer Walk coming up in May. We'll meet community activist Tracy Dent right after this.